On our last episode of Kids on Bikes, we had a bit of a back and forth in this mine. We realized that there is a laboratory down here. There are many of our green cloud friends in the laboratory. The mayor was down here. Now she's not. And the kids have been investigating what seems to be a BromCom-owned laboratory down in this mine. And we ended the episode with the elevator dinging.
I hide.
Where do you hide? Where do you hide?
Are the computers like on desks?
The computers are on tables.
Are they like 4-leg tables, or are they like those tables that have like backs to them?
It's a mix. So I think we can say if you'd like to throw yourself beneath a desk in this underground mine, you can do that.
Yeah. Kodi. And Kodi was right by George, so I think Cody's just gonna instinctively like grab George and be like, "We're gonna go now," and throw themselves beneath a desk. If George is okay with that.
George, yeah, scrambles under the desk with Kodi.
Can I get a flight roll from one of you?
Yes.
Yeah, Kodi, let's have you do it, since you're the one dragging George.
Also, I have a T4, so.
Okay. Got D8. 6.
That'll do it. You're just throwing yourselves. So Kodi and George, you slide under the desk. Hank and Fred, what are you doing?
Am I close enough to potentially run back around the corner if I roll flight?
You are not. You are all the way in the center of this pit, like down the ladder.
I will try to pull a Hank or a Kodi and find a desk to slide under. I'll roll for flight because I've got a D10 for that.
Great.
That's a 9.
Nice. You also, I'm imagining, like, Kodi, you dive to one side with George, like, holding George's shirt, and then Fred, you dive to the other side, like, under this, like, parallel desk. Hank, what are you doing?
I think Hank was, like, walking over to look at the tank with the thing in it, and like instinctively like takes off his hat and flattens against it at the base.
Oh my god.
Because I'm assuming
Incredible.
I'm assuming he can like be on the ground behind some kind of solid base of this tank.
Love that.
Also, GM, I'm sorry, I forgot that kids get a +1 to flight, so it's technically a 10, if that matters at all.
It does not explode because that's
Cool.
not a nat 10.
No,
but
that's fine. I just like the 10 is a nice number.
It is a nice number. The elevator door slides open, and standing there, this is a huge elevator, at least 14 feet tall, and standing there is Benny. And
Sorry.
Benny is whistling. He is rolling a cart. The cart holds a large aquarium type tank with a cloud in it. And he is wheeling this tank over towards the other tanks. He does not appear to notice any of you under the desks as he just like walks by these computer desks towards the tanks, where he is like looking up, looking for a space to put this tank. And then he stops, because there is a cowboy hat with feet in front of one of the tanks. And he lets go of the cart and steps to the side and peers closer. And you're not looking at him because you're behind the cowboy hat.
Oh, Hank.
But a third-party viewer would see a look of recognition and then anger flicker across his face. And he points at you and says, "What are you doing down here? How did you even get down here? Oh my God."
Hank,
Kill him, Hank.
Hank pulls his hat down and looks to the right and to the left, and then bursts into tears and dives to the ground and grabs his leg, and he's like, "Oh my God, my leg, it's hurt. Oh my God, I think I'm dying."
Yes!
Can you roll charm to lie to Benny?
Yes, I can.
Oh my God.
Natural 20.
Oh my God.
That's it's a 31.
Wow.
The dice tell their story.
And Benny's face like switches to one of like shocked horror and it's like, "Why do you keep having medical emergencies in my place of work?
This
I
is
didn't
such
go to
a
med
dangerous
school.
mind.
Why are you here?"
Hank is just screaming and like frantically kind of cutting his eyes over at where he vaguely thinks the other three are.
And Benny is like kneeling down next to you. Like your upset, like freneticness is making him upset. He clearly does not know how to work with
Just
children.
the escalation.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, like what, how did you get hurt? Like, did you interact with one of them? They're all away. Well, no, those ones are still out. Did you touch it? Your leg is still here. So maybe not.
Why don't you know more?
I started working at BromCom because I thought they were working with silicon chips. I didn't sign up for this. I've never worked in a wet lab.
It's very dry in here. Oh my God, it hurts.
Yes, get more information
Yeah,
out of
Hank will just keep like wailing uselessly.
Oh God, should we all try to? Should I like? I kind of want to try to make eye contact with George and Kodi, and like I could be like, do we jump on him?
How do we have any way to perceive like how convinced Benny is of this, or like if Hank is doing all right?
Hank is having a meltdown. Benny is also on the precipice of a meltdown. His response to this is not like, wait, something is like sus, like I don't believe it. Like Hank is lying here screaming about his leg, and to Benny, this is real.
There's a dying child.
There's a dying child that is somehow in this mine.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll look at like at George and Kodi, be like, I'll hold up. She left the rope behind, but she holds up dental floss. Like,
are you gonna garrote Benny? Oh gosh. Okay, I think Kodi puts his hand around his mouth to try and make like a far away sound, to be like, "Hank, where are you?"
oh my God, is doing ventriloquism.
Kodi is trying to sound like somewhere else, like looking for his friend, so that when we pop out, it can be like, "We're just looking for our friend. They think he fell down here and we came after him."
Yeah, I would accept a charm roll or a brains roll for this.
Fred reluctantly puts this little dental floss down. No, she keeps it ready. She's ready to listen. She's ready to throw down if we need to take this grown man down.
Okay, my brains is a little bit better than my charm, so I'll give it a go. That is a 6.
Yeah, so you are not an actor. You are under a desk directly behind Benny. Take an adversity token. And
oh man,
Benny like turns on his heel and then like looks back at you, Hank, and is like, Are there other children down here? Please tell me there are not other children. There are other children down here.
I fell down a mine shaft and my friends came to rescue me.
Kodi looks back to Emma and just starts making like go gestures.
Here's the thing is, though, I have a D4 to fight. So if anyone else would like, I look at George. I think Fred like is right. She like looks at George because George is 13 and George is a bully. And if anyone can beat up this 30-something-year-old man, she thinks that it's George.
Kodi looks to George and says, "George, you already know you can destroy his spirit." Can you destroy his body?
Benny is rapidly striding over towards these desks where you guys are hiding.
George considers this thoughtfully and is prepared to assume her adult role and fight this 30-year-old man. However, Micah, is Micah still invisible?
Yeah, Micah is here with you, presumably, but she is not visible right now.
Okay. Well, Micah is quick. So before George gets out to fight Benny, Micah runs and trips him.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for Micah to...
Oh, no! It's a 3.
Oh, no!
I'm guessing that's an adversity token.
What did you roll?
A 3.
So, yes. Well, Micah doesn't collect adversity tokens.
Right. Okay.
Although maybe it would be fun if she did. Yeah, I'll give Micah an adversity token. Why not?
Why not?
I don't know if that's in. Yeah. I don't know if that's in the rules, but that seems fine. And George, you like signal Micah to do this. And Micah appears like right before she slams into Benny. And you can see her nose is pretty heavily bleeding right now. And she just kind of like falls into him and does knock him down. But is not really like grappling with him or anything. So he just kind of like lets out an alarmed shout and shoves her off to the side.
At this point, George runs out and tries to tackle Benny.
So he is like sitting on the ground on his butt. So you can like throw yourself on him. Is that what you're doing? Go ahead and roll fight.
Fred is ready with a dental floss whenever she has him.
8. Yeah. So Benny is an NPC. So Benny does not have dice. But Benny, let's just say Benny has other skills. So he's already...
Oh my God.
So he's already sitting on the ground and you just throw the full weight of your 13-year-old body at him and kind of knock the wind out of him. And he lets out a strangled noise, vaguely pinned under you. And it's like, why are there so many children here? And Micah is going to like scoot back towards him. And she has one hand over her nose, like kind of trying to staunch the blood, and is going to use like the other hand to like pin one of his wrists down so that he can't fight back.
And then I gesture to the other ones to like come grab limbs.
Yeah, George will rush over with a dental floss and attempt to grab his arms behind him and tie them up.
Are you gonna hog tie this man with dental floss?
That
is fully what she is trying. Oh yeah, I guess. Well, I had the dental floss out. She'll try to get him pinned, and then maybe she'll remember she probably has zip ties. But yeah, I fully want to try to hog tie this man, or at least get his arms behind him.
Hank, are you still screaming? Because Benny definitely is still screaming.
Hank is kind of like slowed down and is like rolling, like slowly like riding and rolling over to where Benny is.
Keeping it up. As he's screaming, I would like to pull the bandana that's like holding her hair and give it to George and be like, shove it in his mouth.
Yeah, I think you're the group of you in this kind of like chaotic way. He's scared. You're maybe also a little scared, able to like gag him with your bandana and like, I don't know if he's tied with a dental floss, but certainly
I'll roll
like,
for it if I can. I'm happy to roll for it. Can I roll brains for it maybe? Because I think she knows knots.
To tie this man up with dental floss.
It's dental floss, so I think I'm going to roll for it instead of taking the taking the 10. That was a good idea because I got a 19.
Yeah, so I think what I'm visualizing is you're just pulling out like lengths and lengths and lengths of dental floss. Well, Micah,
it's like
and
I'm tying
George,
it. It's kind of like I tie it to him and then I'm pulling it out as like going around and around and around.
The world's slowest mummification is happening here.
Oh God.
And Benny is still like making muffled noises, but can't really yell anymore because your bandana's in his mouth. And you're able to secure him with his arms behind his back.
Hank will at this point drop the ruse and stand up and dust himself off. And then he'll come over and he'll be like, George, I think you should interrogate him, but if he doesn't cooperate, I'll fart on him.
George leans over to Benny and says to him, "You heard that, right? Are you going to cooperate?"
Kodi just says, "We do not abide by the Geneva Convention."
Yeah. One, incredible. Two, I think this would be a grit roll unless there is something else that you'd like to make.
I would love a grit roll.
Yeah, let's do a grit roll. And this is a snap decision. You guys don't really have time to plan.
Oh my God. 4.
Take an adversity token.
That was a D20.
Bad odds. Benny, one, can't really talk, so you can't hear what he says in response to that. And then he can't get away from you, but like he sort of identified, oh, you are those 4 kids from earlier who were causing issues. And then seems kind of like mad and frazzled. And he'll turn his head to the side and kind of like half spit this bandana out. It's like a lot of cloth, and say sort of like muffled, gargled, how did you even get down? Like, you're going to be in so much trouble. I'm not who you should be worried about.
Who should we be worried about?
Nope. I have seen the movies. I am not going to be the person who tells the children everything.
Load the missile, Hank.
I was literally about to say, I look at Hank.
Hank will turn with his butt facing Benny and just shuffle backwards slowly.
As this prepares, Kodi leans down and whispers in Benny's ear, "Bet you never saw this part in the movies."
Do not do this. This is horrible. What do you want to know?
We want to know who we should be afraid of.
And you can tell Benny visibly is weighing his options. And then he kind of looks at Hank again and winces, and then looks back at the other 3 of you.
Fred has her knife ready.
Oh my God, when did you get a knife? I mean, you do have your multi-tool. You do have your multi-tool.
I absolutely do. Does Kodi have his child's multi-tool?
Kodi has his child's multi-tool. It just has, like, the closest thing to a knife is, like, the big, like, nail filer.
Yeah. Or, like, the thing that's, like, you know, the combination spoon, fork, knife. Micah's covered in blood.
Yeah, it's quite the scene. And Benny says Bernarda is the one that you need to talk to. She, like, this is her project. I am just, all I wanted to do was work with silicon chips, I got this job thinking that it was about computers. And he gestures with his head because his hands are tied, like vague, like nod in the direction of the tanks. And says, and this is not what I signed up for either.
What are they? Are they like fart clouds?
Well, yeah. What is that? Well,
Apparently they came out of the mine, and
I really thought you were going to say out of the butt. I have to admit, I really did. I don't know if I've just got farts on the brain. Anyways, so out of the mine. Farts are so...
We have fun here. Benny says they came out of the mine when I thought it was, when they closed the mine down, I thought it was because of the fires, but apparently it was because these things started coming out. Best as the BromCom research team has figured out, there's some kind of portal, and they have all sorts of interesting properties that seem like they could be used for interesting science applications, but we haven't been able to figure out power transference in any kind of consistent way.
And the mayor is leading this? Is calling... Did she order these studies?
Why didn't they tell anybody about it?
Think about how upset you guys were.
Yeah, but if you told people about it, then you can get more resources and like keep it from... Did the clouds do this thing to Micah?
And you can tell Benny does not want to answer this question.
Hank.
Are you sure you don't want to answer?
The clouds did not do this to Micah on purpose. Micah was where she should not have been, and she got in the crossfire.
So you know what happened to Micah? You saw what happened to her?
I was informed when she was here.
So these are like really dangerous, and you're just like keeping them here. Why are you like...
It's science things that you kids wouldn't understand.
I'm smarter than you
it's
think.
science things you kids wouldn't understand.
Fred is definitely smarter than you think.
Hank, you're really smart. You hang out at the library all the time, and I'm pretty sure you sometimes read there. I think I don't care what I don't people, the librarians have some opinions on you, but I think they're wrong. I think at some point you do actually read. Anyways, Hank is way smarter than you are, Benny, with your computer chips. And again, you're not even smart enough to know that you were getting tricked into a fake job. So
Have you ever filled out a job application? Some of those websites, very poorly written, and they are legitimate. So,
but why would they recruit people who know how to work with computer chips in order to do this job? Like, why wouldn't they just hire people who know things about strange gas monsters? Why you?
I couldn't tell you. I think it's that nobody knows anything about strange gas monsters, as you called them, and the premise is very good. The silicon manufacturing plant has brought so many good things to this town.
How's it? You
can tell Benny actually believes this.
Oh, of course he does. He's drinking the Kool-Aid. Is Micah the only person this has happened to? Because if these things are as dangerous as you say, other people could get hurt or do what happened to Micah have happened to them. How many other people are going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time?
The people that has happened to are not Micah did better than some of those other people.
Do they know how to get rid of the gas monsters? Do you know how?
Yes, but none of them have been coming through the portal anymore, and we want to preserve them. So we're really trying to avoid destroying them as much as we can.
Where's the portal?
Yeah, where's the portal?
You know I cannot tell you that, right?
Why?
I don't think that you understand how this works, Benny. I look at Hank and then I hold up a knife. Why do we have to keep explaining this to you? Where's the portal, Benny?
Do I get, if I tell you, do I get amnesty? Can you grant me amnesty? Your children?
I have a lot of
we
adults.
Established, sure. Well, yeah, Kodi has a lot of adults.
And they all hate the government. So you should be safe with us.
The mayor is familiar with your parents. They lobbied against the silicon plant.
If these things are so dangerous and they're hurting people, lots of people, then if you...
No, not lots of people.
Well...
Like 7 to 12.
What's That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Can I think back, GM? Have we noticed anyone else like disappearing? Is Micah the only like kid that we've known of? Have we heard any rumors of anyone else disappearing?
Micah is the only like child in your age range that has gone missing, but certainly more people have moved away lately.
So you guys don't care who you hurt, so long as you get the science stuff.
No.
You know, Benny, you may not want to tell us a lot, but you've told us one important thing. You think that your life is worth the life of 7 to 12 people. That your little job here, that your little paragraph on a resume is worth 12 people? How many more people, Benny? 15, 18, 20, 50? You're not going to keep these things contained forever. I haven't seen many movies, but I know how this one goes.
Roll charm to like emotionally manipulate this man.
Hell yeah.
Oh, charm.
That was such a beautiful speech, but also just the phrase, your life is worth 7 to 12 people, killed me.
Oh, come on, charm buddy.
Folks also do have adversity tokens.
Okay, I rolled an 8.
I will offer my adversity token by continuing to be an intimidating presence.
Just that butt inching closer to that face.
And I will spend one of my adversity tokens to round it up to 10.
And Micah will spend her adversity token by like taking her hand away from her nose and like leaning into Benny's frame of view. And like
right next to the butt.
Yeah. Like leaning around Hank.
Just a bloody kid's face next to another kid's butt. And on the other side of him is this kid making like a speech based on like Hank's reenactment from a Godfather movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is a nightmare.
Fred still has a knife.
George is standing
children
there
are terrifying.
with her arms
George is
crossed.
just like on top of it.
And you see Benny's expression shift into something like guilt. And he looks down slightly and he says, "You're right. This has gone on too far. But I just work for them. What I don't know what to do, and you don't know what to do either. You're just kids."
You know how to stop them.
I know how to stop them in theory. As you can see, there are many of them. Some of them are loose for some reason. We don't follow a lot of laboratory guidelines, but that is one we definitely should be following.
Well, I think it's time to test some theories out, Benny.
Yeah, you're the one who's so big on science. Let's do some scientific method stuff and test some hypotheses, Benny.
I have a
also,
PhD in
you should tell us what the portal is so we can destroy it.
First of all, my PhD is in computer engineering. So
that's still science. That's still science. There's science stuff in that in computers.
Benny,
you made that abundantly clear. Push a button on a computer that makes them go away, Benny.
Let's C++ our way out of here, Benny.
The Matrix movies were a mistake.
Benny says to his face in the ground.
Yeah.
Kodi says, Benny, we have photographs. We can take the files. We can give more powerful people proof. With more people, we could take them down.
The portal is in the building. And he nods his head toward the elevator.
Take us there. Right now.
I mean, it's on the basement level.
How far is it?
3 floors up.
3 or 30? Emma didn't hear.
Yes, 3 floors up.
It's like, wow, we're really far down. Okay.
I guess we'll deal with this because you're too scared and too bad at science.
I mean, I'm also tied up. So if
you're also tied up, but now clearly since your opinions are shifting, you see the error of your ways, and now you're going to work with us, and we can get you an immunity deal or something, is what I've heard about. Because Benny, I pulled out a cassette tape. And you see the little red button is pressed. I have been recording this entire conversation, including and I went over some really interesting swallow sounds for this. So you better make this worth it, Benny. And then I'll press the button and take the tape out and put it in a Ziploc bag and put in another fresh tape for when I need it next. Are you gonna be a good guy, Benny?
Children are horrible, he says very faintly.
We're horrible. You're the ones who are helping these people do these things with these clouds that are making people not be able to talk and turn invisible, like Micah. Look at Micah, you still have a lot of I'm gonna start trying to clean off the blood.
A shaky little thumbs up.
I'm gonna start cleaning the blood off of Micah with some wipes.
Hank is gonna pull out the BromCom keychain and start clicking it in front of Benny, just incessantly, and be like, "Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna help us if we let you go?"
My ID card that you need for the elevator is in my pocket.
Fine.
I was going to say take it and leave me here, but please don't leave me here with those things. It seems like the bats are gone now. And as he like says that, you can see that like there are still some bats around. And the 8 clouds that are out seem to be like not harmlessly floating around, but they are moving more freely in the space above you than they were previously.
Kodi says we should take him with us. We don't have anything to destroy the portal with. We need all the help we can get.
And he can scope. He knows where stuff is and where he can scope stuff out so that he can look out for like it and let us know maybe.
Yeah. I've seen Back to the Future. I think I know how to close a portal.
Oh my god.
Benny like stares at you in disbelief, like waiting for you to like say that that's a joke, and then seems to like realize that is not a joke to you. And it's just like, okay. Wow.
The 30-year-old man being held hostage by a bunch of 11 to 13-year-olds. Cool. Doing great. Benny's doing great in his life.
Hank will take his ID card and then kind of just wait for everyone else to like let Benny go and get our stuff together.
Fred will take her knife and cut his bonds suspiciously efficiently.
Kodi just like politely dusts him off and says, you're making the right call.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
George walks behind them as they head to the elevator and just sort of like arms crossed, looking menacing, like she's the muscle now.
Hell yeah. Yes.
Oh, Kodi goes to George and says, "Do you want to hold my multi-tool?"
Yeah, I'll take your multi-tool.
Kodi gives his multi-tool.
Thanks, kid.
And now that you're not holding the multi-tool, Micah will hold your hand again, Kodi.
Aw, yay.
And so you're at the elevator, and Hank, you have Benny's swipe card, and he's like, do you know how to use that? You just like
Hank makes
it.
direct eye contact and does it wrong several times.
You just in the slot. No, like the other way. The other way. Oh boy. No, don't lick it.
And then he'll swipe it and open the elevator.
This elevator looks identical to the elevator that was in the BromCom building, down to the buttons and the floors. And Benny will press you are currently on the lowest level, which is labeled basement 4. And then there are like 2 buttons that have no labels. And then there's one that says basement 1. And he presses the basement 1 button. And the doors slide closed with surprising efficiency. And the elevator takes you up to this basement level and slides open. And as the elevator doors slide open, immediately you are met with, you are like looking right into this like pulsing green light that is clearly the portal. It's about the size of a sedan, kind of like swirling and crackling, not super dissimilarly from those clouds. And you are about 20 feet back from it. And it is roped off, but not behind glass or anything. It appears they've just been keeping this portal in the basement.
This is really irresponsible, Benny. I don't think this is OSHA approved. I know a lot about workplace accidents, and this is right for a workplace accident.
Are you still recording?
No. No. I have a saying, Fred stops for a moment, goes, tries to subtly fumble, realizes to put it back. No, I'm not.
I will not be answering that question.
OSHA is where we draw the line.
Oh, really?
And Benny looks at you, Kodi, and is like, I didn't realize she was recording before.
I'm not recording now, I promise. Yeah. I'm not. And she says, and she's realized she's actually not. And then it's like, I should probably have this closer on hand. And like tries to put it in like a big pocket so she can press it at it. Then he's like, she'll show it. She'll show him. Not recording. Put it in her pocket. Have her hands up.
Yes, there have been some workplace accidents.
I've all my other tip. No, I don't. Absolutely not. God, I wish. Yeah, that's, again, this is really irresponsible, Benny.
Benny looks guiltily at Micah.
Gestures to the child still covered in blood.
Anyway, so this is the portal. When I started working here, the green clouds would come out of the portal about once a week. We haven't had a new one in a month and a half. So we're trying to conserve the ones that we have, and you can see when Benny says a month and a half, Micah sort of has a reaction to that.
How long has Micah? Like, how long ago
and
did
seems
Micah
to be
move
kind of
away?
thinking about that. It is late October, and Micah left at the very beginning of the school year, so about a month and a half.
Kodi just gives like reassuring squeezes to Micah's hand for the time being. Cody's has no idea of how we're gonna close this.
Yeah, was Hank or Kodi the one who said about Back to the Future? Because Fred fully just looked Hank. Yeah. Fred looks at Hank. She's like, "Okay, Hank, what do we do?"
Micah, do you feel any like different standing like near this thing?
And Micah nods.
In like a bad way or a good way? Or like just neutral?
And she holds her hands out for the notepad.
I'll give it to her, yeah.
And she writes down, "I kind of want to go in."
But if you go in, maybe we're never gonna see you again.
Should we try throwing something else in to see what happens?
Benny takes a step back.
Can we tie something like with the floss and then try to pull it back out?
Mm-hmm.
I hand over my like big I think it's probably Egyptology is the ology Cody's got in his backpack.
Oh, you don't have to give up
Kodi pulls out his Egyptology book and offers it as a test.
Kodi, are you sure?
Yeah, you love those books.
I'm not sure
this is a really
about
good
pretty
one.
much anything anymore. So
Yeah, fair.
George places a hand on Cody's book and says, "You can keep your book." And from her backpack, she pulls out her secret Tamagotchi that she's been carrying around with her since she was a kid. And she says, "We should try something we can see if it does anything to the electricity."
Yeah, that's really
and I
smart.
need to get rid of this anyway. It's a child's toy.
George, really, I was really proud of you for a moment there. Okay. And Fred will just start tying we'll tie the Tamagotchi to some dental floss.
Kodi goes to George and says, just so only George can hear it, "The amount of respect I have for you has changed." And he smiles.
Oh.
George is trying really, really hard not to have any reaction, but she kind of like nods.
And from behind Kodi, Micah will lean over and let go of Cody's hand so that she can give you a double thumbs up.
Aww.
So you've tied this Tamagotchi to dental floss. Benny is
Title
looking
of
at
the episode.
Benny is looking at you dubiously, but has not said anything. What do you want to do with this Tamagotchi?
I think we got to just throw it in there on the other end of like hold on to the dental floss and just kind of swing it in.
Who's got the best arm? Because I don't think it's me.
Is that Braun?
Is it Braun? Well,
That would be-
you did, but also you kind of ate it whenever you threw, or was that Kodi who threw the rock?
I mean,
Kodi kind of.
I threw the rock and that didn't go very well for me.
Hank, you kind of ate it, but I mean,
Well, it's
I don't
just
think we have to throw it in very far. We just need to like get it.
That's true. That's true.
into there.
Yeah, it's just like a lasso.
Aww.
that's true. You could, lasso it, Hank.
Cowboy! Oh my God. Cowboy Hank and the lasso.
All of your training has prepared you for this moment.
And go put his cowboy hat back on and then swing it kind of like a lasso and then into the portal.
Go ahead and roll grit for me.
5.
The portal starts to suck the Tamagotchi in, and it starts to pull you with it.
Oh no.
Kodi wraps his hands around Hank's stomach to add more weight.
No, it'll squeeze out the farts.
Micah will also wrap her arms around you, Kodi, to try to pull Hank back. And you're sort of playing tug of war with this portal.
I let go of the dental floss.
And the Tamagotchi is sucked into the portal.
Sorry, George.
Meh, it's fine. It's clearly not fine.
Oh.
I just, it was like, it's fine.
So, Micah, it seems like if you go in there, you're not going to come back.
And Benny's like, well...
What?
I mean, Micah came back, so...
Oh. Micah, do you still want to go in? Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was just confirming that Micah went through the portal. That's how she got her powers.
Yes, it spit her back out eventually.
Did it appear where she was, or did she walk into it? You said you were told what happened, Benny.
Well, the things that the clouds absorb appear to transport them to the portal.
Oh. Did you see... Kodi, what did you lose? You lost a water bottle, didn't you?
Kodi, your water bottle's in there.
Did it come out?
Did one of the clouds consume it? Benny asks. So it will probably reappear eventually.
Oh.
At least now your parents won't be mad at you.
It's true. But what happens if you go in this end? Do you come out through a cube? Through a gas monster?
We have not seen that happen yet.
Okay. What do you think, Micah?
Micah will kind of shrug.
Are you sure you want to go in?
And she'll flip to a new page and writes, Can the clouds eat other clouds?
Oh, shit.
If we cross the streams.
Yeah. What if it's like a paradox or something?
Yeah.
Like if we put a cube in the portal, I don't know.
Can we? But how would we get? We would have to get.
We'd have to ride the elevator with it.
We would have to go. I don't know.
I mean,
Is there anything else in this? Go ahead.
The only way to be sure is to wait and see if the Tamagotchi comes out somewhere else.
But if Micah didn't come out for a month or something, that could take forever. Although, again, I guess she came out this way instead of going in, so I don't know if it's a different space-time dilation or I don't know. But also, all the clouds are down there, so we have to go and look for them.
I think the only thing there is to do is to try it. Right? That's the only thing we can possibly do, other than, telling an adult who can get a bomb or whatever else they use to close it. The only thing we can do is to go in.
You don't need an adult to get a bomb, but...
Okay.
You're the ones at the Parents Against Government.
Yeah, but most of them are pretty anti-violence. It's kind of frustrating, honestly.
You keep telling them that's change is not... What's the word?
Yeah, it's a pretty common argument in my household.
Oh, just another Tuesday night at the
Thompson Lee Garcia Smith household.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you, Hank. Micah, should we go with you or?
If Micah's going in, I'm going in.
I'll go too.
Oh, you're all getting in the portal. Benny seems very concerned.
Well, you're coming with us, Benny.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Benny, you're the adult. If we get in trouble, if something happens to us and you didn't do your best, you're going to be held responsible for what happens to us.
But who's going to tell our families if we can't come out?
Yeah, that's fair. Benny, you have to tell our families that we went in a portal.
I don't know if I trust Benny to tell our families.
Tell the adults that 5 children went missing under your care.
That you let them walk into a portal alone and explain to each and every of our parents. And Kodi has a lot of parents you're going to have to explain to. Every single one of them. Are you ready to do that, Benny?
No, I will go with you.
Kodi is honestly
Benny, you're
like
a good man.
hoping that someone could like talk to his parents. So Cody's a little bit disappointed when he says
we can
that
leave
he
them a
is
note
coming
if
in.
you want to leave. We can leave them a note, Kodi, if you want.
I think Cody's biggest fear is that like any material evidence in this room is going to get cleaned up, right? Like if he leaves a note, it could get found and then nobody could. So I think that like Kodi accepts that he left the beeswax and the keychain and that's just going to have to be enough. And then, yeah, kind of steals himself and gets ready to go in.
Are all of you walking into this portal, or is anyone staying?
Hank is walking in, and he also asks Kodi if he can hold Cody's hand.
Yeah, you can hold my hand.
And Micah will take your other hand again, Kodi.
Great.
And then she'll reach out a hand for George.
Oh,
George looks at Micah's hand, looks at the rest of this group, and she says, I guess I'm part of this team now.
Aww.
And takes Micah's hand.
Hank holds out his hand to Fred.
I look at him. I look back at Benny. I say, Benny, I'm not holding your hand. You have to walk back. You should go in front of us. You should go in front of us so that we can make sure that you go in. Because no offense, I'm warming up to you, Benny, but I don't entirely trust you yet. And I'm saying this as I take Hank's hand, and I'm saying all this to Benny.
That is hurtful. That's honestly hurtful.
I mean, do you want to hold her? I don't know. I don't.
No, I do. I will walk into the portal now.
And then we watch Benny go in, and none of us follow.
No, Hank's committed.
No, absolutely,
Oh my
absolutely,
God.
absolutely.
Yeah,
No.
the portal leads Benny. It closes. You all live happily ever after. No.
30 years later, Benny comes back.
Kids on Bikes 2, Return of Benny.
Benny's revenge.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, if everyone else is ready.
As Benny is just a few steps ahead of you as he heads into this portal, and it sort of starts to glow and pulse more as he walks in, and then you watch him get sucked in like the Tamagotchi did.
Who's at the front of the line? It's either George or Fred. I think y'all are on the ends.
I think we all will sort of.
I thought we were kind of like. I thought we were kind of.
like-
Yeah.
In a
We all
row.
were like, wait,
feel-
are we gonna fit in this actually? Or are we gonna have to go like sideways? It was gonna be really cool. And then we're like, oh,
Like
it's
a
not
little
actually as big as
awkward.
we thought it was. It was
I mean,
gonna be
it's-
really cool.
It's about the size of a sedan. So, and you guys are again our children.
That's
so,
true. We are children.
So you can probably all sort of like walk in a line into this portal.
Hell yeah.
And Kodi starts taking steps forward.
And the portal does the same thing, where like as you get closer, it starts to glow and kind of pulse. And then the group of you are sucked in, and it does not feel like being eaten by a piece of jello or even like walking into a cloud. Like you don't feel damp. The space that you are in now, although it is hard to, I think, wrap your minds around is clearly a plane that does not function the way that the world you are from functions. And you see like a flash of what feels like perhaps a memory or time, but you're also still in the moment that you walked into this portal. And then you see a flash of the mine, and you see a flash of the fire in the mine flickering. And you get the sense that you are in fact a part of the thing that is now part of your world, and it does not want to be here, and it does not want you to be here. And it is upset by the foreignness that now occupies it. And it would like to return home, although home is now fragmented, and it doesn't know why you're here. And then it seems to have a sense of wrongness, but also recognition. And then you find yourself sitting on the floor outside this portal.
The same place we came from?
The same place you came from.
Is Micah there?
Is the Tamagotchi here?
It is.
Is it still alive?
Do you try to turn it on?
Well, you just look at it.
You look at it. Yeah, it's got a little guy on the screen.
Yay!
And
It hasn't died yet.
it's sitting on the floor in front of you. And Kodi, your water bottle is sitting on the floor in front of you.
Oh, hey. That's weird.
Benny is also next to you, and is picking up what looks like a coffee mug, and sort of turns it over in his hand and is like, "Oh, that's odd."
You said it usually takes longer for it to return things. Have we been gone for...
It's exactly like Back to the Future.
What year is it?
What year? I literally, I'm like, is there like a clock around anywhere or anything in this room?
Do any of
Wait.
you have a watch?
Well, the Tamagotchi
Fred would
gets
have a watch.
hungry. And if
The
you
Tamagotchi-
don't
That's the
eat
thing.
it,
It's a Tamagotchi.
it dies.
Yeah, exactly.
The Tamagotchi is not hungry.
It's the only reliable way to tell time.
Fred would absolutely have a watch, though.
Yeah.
And next to you, Micah clears her throat and says, "I think the clouds want to go home."
Micah,
I think the clouds want to go home.
let's
makes
bring 'em.
sense.
Yeah. It
And
felt
she looks
fragmented.
kind
Do
of
we think that the clouds are all one being, maybe, and they need to all be back together?
I think so. I think it was upset. I was also upset when yeah.
All right. But we gotta get them in the elevator, but now we know that they'll just spit us back out if they touch us, so...
And some of them are in tanks.
Great. Then we should start with the ones in tanks.
Can we move the tanks?
Oh, I mean, they do fit in the elevator, Benny size.
Great.
Well, Benny, let's go.
Well, Benny, can't you just open up? Yeah, could you? You could also open up the lid if we have to.
I mean, they're kind of
So they might eat
kind
us.
of upset. You know,
That is true. They probably don't like you very much, Benny. I feel like they might not have pleasant memories associated with you. But maybe you can fix that.
Oh God.
If we got some other adults here, then it would take no time to move them up.
It takes a village to put the monster back together.
Yep, you're right, Hank. Although if we find adults, I don't know if they'll, again, do we go look for other people that will stop us, or how should we just start going? What should we do? Michael, what do you think?
I mean, my dad definitely knows about this, so I bet he would help us if we could talk to him And then maybe he could talk to your parents, because the clouds are in the town now, right?
Yeah.
So it might...
And I have the recording. Oh, God. Can I play back the tape to make sure it wasn't messed with in the weird dimensional space?
The tape seems to work perfectly fine, just like the Tamagotchi.
Okay. Yeah, we have pictures. We have stuff. We have this. If we can go and tell them, maybe we can, send them back.
Yeah, we confront the mayor,
people.
And we recruit the town to send all the monsters back home.
Oh man, do you guys know when the next town hall meeting? Because it would be really cool if we could storm in as she's talking, Madam Mayor, and throw down the thing. But I don't. That's probably not gonna happen. It would be really cool though.
My parents were making glitter posters last night, so it's got to be soon.
I think that's yeah.
They had huge pink vulvas on them. I don't know why, but it's got to be something to do with vulvas, I guess.
How do we feel about jumping to this town hall meeting?
Yes.
Oh my
Let's
God!
jump.
Yeah. Oh my God! So we managed to get out. Do we I assume we try to go back out the way we came, maybe with Benny's help, and try to climb back out so we don't get caught.
You are in the BromCom building.
That's true.
So you can take the elevator up and walk out.
We don't think, okay, is it, with the elevator, do we think would come out where we could get out fast enough that no one would stop us?
So you would learn that as you're going, that this enormous expanse of mine is connected to the BromCom building.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you were in the BromCom building for that field trip, not too many hours ago, in fact, you were above this enormous complex with the laboratory and the Wending mines. And you get some funny looks from the secretary in the lobby as Benny walks out with these 5 kids.
Micah's still got some blood on her.
Yeah, Micah's still got blood on her face and sweatshirt.
Kodi looks to the secretary and says, we got lost on a tour and Benny found us. He deserves a raise.
And dental, if you can give it to him.
Benny starts a reaction and then looks at the secretary and is like, thumbs up. And then we're like,
he gave us these chips. He wanted to make sure we got these keychains.
Yes.
And so he made us feel very safe.
Now they're going back to the bus and Benny will sort of usher you.
Yeah, Bye, it was nice to meet you. Betty's just shoving us.
Yeah.
Great. So we all communicate to our parents that we need to be at the town hall.
Do you communicate with your parents, or do you think you just sort of all sneak out and meet up?
Hank's parents are
well,
never
I guess
home.
do we come out and is it the same time as it was? Does it can we go check to see if it's the same date and stuff outside of the portal?
It is very dark, so you can tell it's nighttime now. But when you get home and you start to go through the town, it seems to be the same day.
I ask Benny if he can take Micah home so I can go straight home.
That feels like it would be bad for me.
Should we all go to Micah's house maybe so we can explain the situation?
I can go with Micah.
I think that maybe, I ask Micah, do you want some time alone with your dad? I mean, that seems like a thing that the two of you might want to work through alone before a bunch of other kids storm into your house with conspiracy theories.
I mean, I don't know if I want to talk to him. If he was working on this project, maybe he's bad too.
Do you want to come to my house and meet my family?
You have 8 parents, right?
Yeah.
Probably not all of them are part of this.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, I think that Kodi tell. Cody's family has been a little bit disappointed that he hasn't like taken as much of an interest in like active protest. Cody's more of like an everyday conversations kind of disruptor. And so when Cody comes home and is like, there's something very suspicious happening with BromCom, and I would appreciate to be included with any plans of protest at the upcoming town hall, and I would also like to propose some plans myself. Also, this is Micah. She's going to help us too.
And your parents are... they're worried because like you didn't come home right after school. It's like pretty late now. But they're mostly happy to see you. Mama Fran like reminds like some of your other parents, like Cody is at that age now where it is important to let him make his own choices because he has autonomy. And sometimes the things that feel important to us are not going to feel important to Cody in the same way. And we have to respect that autonomy. And then she looks at you and is like, but please tell us if you want to exercise your autonomy to not be at home all the time, because we were very worried. It's so nice to meet you, Micah. Are either of you hungry?
Yes. Yes, we are. And yes, I will make that. I will change that for the future. And thank you so much for telling me your needs. I appreciate you. And I tell all of my parents, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Micah looks a little overwhelmed. Fred, when you get home, your dad, Frank...
Before I go home, I do think... Oh, no, I do go home, but I think that Fred was fully ready to, like, tell her dad everything. And then, like, what Micah said... Because I think maybe one of, like, Fred's dad's jobs that he took is probably maybe at the plant. So maybe she's a little worried. Like, it's probably not a full-time thing. But I think she would have given... I think she actually would have given Cody the evidence that she took, because I think she trusts that his parents aren't involved in it. So she might go, yeah, I think she would do that, give him the tape and the papers and stuff before going home. But she does go home.
When you get home, it is dark, but your dad is outside. Like he works long hours, so this is when he has time to take care of the garden, and that's what he's doing. He's out front, like you guys recently harvested some of your earlier vegetables. He's like working on planting the cover crop, and doesn't seem like super troubled that you're coming home late because you're pretty independent. And we'll look up and say, hey, Fred, how was your day at school?
Oh, it was good. We went on a field trip to the plant, and I just, sorry, I'm late. I hung out with some friends, and we just were doing some stuff. But yeah, we saw a lot of computer stuff, and it was really cool. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to bed if that's okay.
Yeah. And he seems like he might want to ask another question, but he'll let you go inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Fred very she does not keep secrets from her dad, and so she like goes inside and is just like immediately regretting it, but like still too anxious to say anything.
Gotcha. George, when you get home, your parents are not home. You can assume that your dad is at the bar, and your mom is probably trying to get him to go home. But there's leftovers in the fridge you can reheat if you want to feed yourself.
George walks in the door. It's dark inside. She kind of just looks around and is like, okay, yeah, they're not home. She goes to the kitchen, sees the leftovers. They're cold. She doesn't bother heating them up and eats it.
I think maybe the phone rings.
George picks up the phone. Hello.
Hey. I know we just hang out all day today, but I I don't know, this is really big, and I still feel weird about it. Do you want to, like, sleep over or something? If not, it's okay. You don't have to say yes. I don't know. It's just weird. I lied to my dad, and I don't ever lie to him, and I don't really know. And it's weird. And he doesn't know.
Okay. You don't have to cry. I'll come over. I'll keep you safe. It's fine.
Thank you, George. Okay. And she'll hang up.
Hank, what about you? Do you think your parents are home when you get home?
I think they are, but I also think that, like, they are not home so frequently that, like, they just, like, are watching TV or whatever, and he just kind of comes in and goes upstairs, and, like, they don't say anything to each other.
Oh. So that's Hank's night.
That's Hank's night. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't have a strong relationship with his parents. He's very much like a latchkey kid.
I would love to do one more scene before we wrap up this game, and I think the town hall meeting would be a good one. The Bromwell City Council, which consists of the mayor and 4 council members, meets every Friday at 7 p.m. And they post their meeting agenda online in advance, which no one is really on yet. It's this, like, old HTML website. And then they also post it on, like, the 2 places. One is, like, on the town hall door itself, the new town hall, not the historic town hall. And then they also post it in the historic town hall. So many places you can see it if you're one of the few people that has a personal computer in 1997, or if you're wondering about the town. And it's all the usual stuff. They're, like, talking about passing a budget, and they're talking about passing a new ordinance about, like, parking after 7 p.m. And things like that. And then at the end of the agenda, there's time for public comment. And Kodi, you and your family are very familiar with the public comment section.
Yes. The airing of grievances.
Yes.
I think that I've communicated to my family that I would like to go last. I tell them that, like, seeing them succeed and seeing them fired up will encourage me. Aww. I don't think I tell them the whole truth.
That's very sweet. And they buy that, of course. Nessa is, like, really excited that you have something that you're passionate about. And Chio Diego's thing that he's bringing to the town hall tonight is that, like, they're talking about cutting funding for the animal shelter, and he's like, absolutely not, you can't do that. And he's like very glad that you're also going to be there and, like, have something that you're passionate about. So they don't really question, like, you being there. Did the rest of you meet Kodi?
Yeah, and I do think that Fred might not have told her dad the whole story, but I think she would have, like, eventually, leading up to this, especially if they were, like, meeting sort of with Kodi and, like, planning, like, when they were going to do this, probably, like, caved and told him some version of the truth of, like, finding, you know, something and being like, we need to tell people about this, and just, you know, and be like, I really want to go to this town hall, and if you could be there with me, it would make me feel better.
So Frank is there with you. It's like, Kodi, you're there with your parents. Frank, you're there. Or Fred, you're there with Frank, your father. Mm-hmm. Hank and George, I imagine that you're just there with your friends and their parents. And Micah will go with you, Kodi. And as you're, like, sitting in the back of this meeting, as they're going through other things, you see someone, like, sneak in late, and it's Benny, and Benny will go sit, like, awkwardly in a chair in the back, and he's like, I'm very sorry, like, a little too loud, like, going past a number of people trying to get to an empty chair. Yeah, very sorry. and will sit down in his chair. And so they run through the meeting, various people speak up, and then get kind of to the end of this agenda where it's time for public comment. And Nessa is there because she's one of the extended partners with a car. So that's how you all got to the meeting. She actually doesn't have anything. And Tio Diego says his piece, and Mommy Della and Mama Fran are there with their shiny vulva posters talking about,
oh my God,
like providing honest health education to the children at Bromwell Middle School. And then it's your turn to say your piece. Bernarda, who's presiding over the meeting, is like, is there anything else? Are we ready to adjourn this?
Is this the first time Micah has been seen by anyone in the town for as long as she's been missing?
It is, and she's hiding like between you and one of your parents with her hood all the way up. Mm-hmm. So people really haven't noticed her yet.
Great. I think that we've pre-organized a very dramatic, like, silent
I was literally about to say we went to
collective-
Blockbuster and like watched a bunch of legal dramas and stuff. Like, okay, so you're gonna stand up and you're.
We all stand up and walk to the podium together.
Yeah, I feel like Hank pitched like dramatically like kicking the doors open so that they slam, but then that was
Fred really wanted that too. Yeah, and then we realized just how long the meeting was, and we're like, oh, we're here a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we all silently approach the podium,
and the mayor is like sort of looking at you, displeased. Like, what do these kids want? She has no idea. And says, what are you presenting? What concerns do you kids have?
Hank thinks back to a legal drama that they watched and then points at Bernarda and yells, "J'accuse!"
I beg your pardon?
It's French for I accuse you. And I think that what my friend is trying to say is that Cody's suddenly realizing that, like, he's really good at one-on-one, but, like, public speaking is a very new thing. I think what my friend is trying to say is that we, the four of us were on a tour, and then
I appreciate that you are excited about the field trip you went on. And
Madam Mayor, my friend was speaking and you're interrupting him. This is the point for public comments, is it not? And I will like put my hand on Kodiak's back, like encouragingly, and like, remember, we have the evidence. Yes, Kodiak, please continue.
Yes, I am reclaiming my time. We did go on a tour. The tour itself was not very informative, not at all to the fault of our tour guide, Benny.
And from the back, Benny is like, hello.
Thank you, Benny.
He gave us keychains. It was very nice of him.
The information came from our self-guided tour, which began at the Coal Museum. Was that what it was? The Coal Museum? Which began at the Coal and Mining Museum and took us deep below the Earth's surface to uncover the secrets of BromCom that BromCom and that our mayor do not want you to know about, including the whereabouts of our missing classmate. And I gestured to Micah to do her dramatic reveal that we choreographed.
Do we all turn in synchronicity to gesture to Micah at once?
And Micah pulls down her hood.
Guys, we're so supposed Peas and carrots.
And you do see a little bit of a murmur pass through the town hall, because as far as people are concerned, like she has not been here in some time, and this is a small town and news travels fast.
I think that I gesture to Micah to speak if she wants to start sharing her experience, and then we can all give our evidences.
And Micah points at the mayor and is like, I was sucked into a freaky portal in your freaky silicon ship building, and you and everyone else just covered it up. And that's really wrong. And then she looks out at like a bunch of the people sitting like in this town hall meeting and says, and a bunch of them are probably in on it too.
Maybe we should show some evidence now.
If you want to slam here,
Bernarda says,
slam it down.
This is a lovely story. And I
remember we practiced Cody. Slam it down.
You slam it down.
I hand him the phone. Okay. And we have evidence, ma'am. Can you object to these? And I slam down the file and open it up, and revealing the pictures of the glow clouds and the documents. Madam Mayor?
The mayor says, I don't know what any of this is. And she starts trying to like pick up the photographs.
No, I am absolutely. We have copies. We absolutely. Oh my God, you made copies, right? Yeah, yes, we made copies, and I have audio evidence of an employee who shall remain nameless for security and immunity purposes. Confirmed that one Madam Mayor was in on this entire plot to use the people of this town for scientific development, which isn't inherently without their consent. And it's on tape. It's on the tape. I'll start fast forwarding playing the tape, and you hear the part about threatening Benny with his parts. And I'm like, oh no, it's not that part. Okay. And then I get to the part where he talks about the mayor and her involvement. And again, you can definitely tell it's Benny's voice. I didn't mess with the audio at all.
Can I get a charm roll from one of you to convince the townspeople? And this can be any one of you.
I have a D20 in
Who's
charm.
the best at charm? I was going to say, we have our actor here.
It's my D20 stat. I can do it.
And I think you get a +1, right?
Not in charm. I don't, or maybe.
For kids, I think kids get, +1
kids
to charm.
Get yes.
All right. 19 +1, 20.
Woo!
And as like Bernarda tries to speak up several times, while each of you like are jumping in, contributing like a different piece of evidence, turning up the volume on this tape that is playing.
It doesn't go very high, but I hold it up to the microphone.
It's making some like crackling noises, but that's okay. And as you guys are going off about this, like Benny has started to turn to people in the audience and is like answering some clarifying questions. It seems like there are a few other BromCom employees here as well, who are with like this reveal trying to absolve themselves immediately. I knew about it, but like I didn't want to keep it a secret. Like I had to. Your parents, Kodi, are like starting to. You hear one of your dads speak up like, let's like get orderly documentation so that we can discuss this as a community and figure out what we'd like to do. Already sort of taking charge. And you get the sense that although this will not be resolved like tonight, or maybe even the next few weeks, because you'll need to round up some of those clouds, you've revealed this to the town. Bernarda is not going to get away with this entire situation, and things will be taken care of.
Wow! We saved our town!
All because of
service.
us meddling kids.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Todd Brian Backus, Percival Hornak, and Nicholas Orvis, and is mixed and edited by Anthony Sertel Dean. Our Kids on Bikes game features CJ Linton as the GM, Ella Mock as Kodi Thompson Lee Garcia Smith, Percival Hornak as Hank Boswell, Emma Covert as Fred Hudson, and Esther Yumi Ko as George Privanathan. Kids on Bikes was written by Jonathan Gilmour and Doug Levandowski and published by Hunters Entertainment with Renegade Game Studios and Infectious Play Publishing. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DN Drama Nerds. Check out cast bios on our website, dungeonsanddramanerds.com, and tune in next week for another episode of Dungeons and Drama Nerds.